Hey, this is Horner, and these are the notes that you need for the digestive system. So, your cells definitely need nutrients, and those nutrients are found in the food that you eat. So, for example, we've got fruits and vegetables here. We've got proteins, which are meats. We've got some carbohydrates, mainly sugars, and that provides energy. So, your cells definitely do need nutrients found in food, and those nutrients provide energy and materials for cell development, growth, and repair. So mainly for that process that we've been talking about of mitosis. Proteins do come in form typically of a meat. Carbohydrates, sugars, and that gives you energy. Fats, those are what we call lipids. And then we have vitamins, we have minerals, and water. The main thing here is we want to make sure we maintain equilibrium or homeostasis so that your body is nice and healthy and happy. And not every food, no food has every single nutrient. So you really want to make sure that you eat a variety of foods. If you only ate chicken nuggets, fries, and drank a Coke for every meal, you would not be a very healthy person, and you would kind of see that and feel that as you went throughout your day. On the next slide, we're going to talk about what the function is of your digestive system, and it's mainly just to break down food into small molecules that then can be absorbed into your bloodstream. So there's a couple of different ways that your body does this. One of the ways is doing mechanical digestion. Mechanical, if you think about a mechanic, that's somebody who maybe might work on a car, so they're doing things that are physical. So this is a physical process where you use your mouth and you start chewing that food. You mix it up and then it goes into your esophagus where it's pushed down your stomach, and then your stomach will kind of grind it up a little bit, and then it just keeps going all the way through your system. In order to help this mechanical digestion, we also need a chemical digestion. And in chemical digestion, food is turned into this really mushy substance. And we use stomach acid, bile, and saliva and some other enzymes to make sure that we can get all of whatever that food is, all of the nutrients out of it. So we can just tell you that enzymes are proteins. And those proteins that are enzymes really just speed up chemical reactions and make them happen very quickly. Because if it waited too long, then you'd end up getting rid of some of those things that you really need. Uh, Going on to the next one, we have a lot of organs for the digestive system, and there's a couple of different types. There are accessory organs, so this includes your tongue, your teeth, your salivary glands, your liver, gallbladder, and pancreas, and all of these items are called accessory organs because they don't have food pass through them. Your digestive tract, on the other hand, does have food pass through it, so that includes your mouth, your esophagus, your stomach, your small and large intestines, your rectum, and your anus. So all of that food will travel through your stomach, down into your small intestine, through your large intestine, your rectum, and then out your anus. And it also goes in your mouth. So those are your digestive tract versus these accessory organs that you see kind of one of them here, your liver. Speaking of all the organs, on the back side of your sheet, you do have this diagram. So let's go through what you need to write down. So at the very top, we do have our mouth. Just below that, we have our esophagus, which connects the mouth to the stomach. From the stomach, it goes down and behind, and it goes into this structure right here, which is called the small intestine. In order to help your small intestine function really well, we have different parts. We have this large part, which is the liver. We have this little thing here called your gallbladder. And then finally, we have your pancreas, and they all have specific jobs we'll talk about here in a second. From there, after it goes through your small intestine, it will travel into your large intestine. And then it goes through your large intestine down here. There's also this little thing here called your appendix. But then after it travels into the large intestine, it goes to your rectum, and then finally travels through your anus out your body. The different parts, let's go through them one at a time. So your mouth, that contains your tongue, your teeth, and the saliva. And when you chew your food and your tongue moves it around and you get saliva all over it, we call that a bolus. And that's just kind of a soft mass. We want to soften that food up so that when it travels through your esophagus, this muscular tube that connects your mouth to your stomach can move that food down through. and it uses a muscle contraction that we call peristalsis. And that's basically just where it squeezes your food all the way down into your stomach. And it's also interesting to note that if you stood on your head, it would still go to your stomach, even though it would be traveling against gravity. If this didn't happen, these astronauts in the space shuttle would never be able to eat anything. They could go up for a day and they'd have to come right back down. For number 3, this is your stomach. It's a muscular sac that turns your food into a thin, watery liquid called chyme. There's mechanical digestion by peristalsis, so it kind of squeezes everything, so you'll see some muscle here. And then there's chemical digestion with this chemical, which contains digestive juices like hydrochloric acid and enzymes to help speed up the process of breaking everything down. For the next part, now we've traveled in the small intestine. This is a long tube that has a small diameter, and it functions in chemical digestion. So there's still some different chemicals in here that help take that food and break it down into things that you can use. And it starts to absorb a lot of the nutrients and pass them into your bloodstream. The inside of your small intestines has little finger-like projections that we call villi, and these villi are really good at helping you absorb a lot of the nutrients that you need. So each villus is composed of cells that have something called microvilli, so even smaller little projections, and the cells transport the nutrients to your bloodstream through different capillary beds. So this is where a capillary bed is, and that distributes everything to your body cells. So without this, you would be in big trouble. We can compare, so if we kind of look at the small intestine, if it was just a simple smooth tube without all the folds and villi, the surface area would be the inside of the tube as we kind of see below. However, because we've put all these villi and microvilli on them, we can increase the surface area tremendously. So if you imagine that the folds are a string and I would undo the string, that would be a really long, very long section. In fact, the surface area is comparable to that of a tennis court. So the intestines, if you could flatten everything out and stretch out these villi, you would see that it would have a tremendous amount of space in order for your food to pass through to get you to absorb all your nutrients. There's some other organs that we call accessory organs that are attached to your small intestine, or they at least provide a way of putting some things into your small intestine. So the liver is this large red-brown organ, and it makes bile. Your gallbladder stores bile, which is then released into the small intestine, and that helps break down fat. Your pancreas then will make digestive enzymes and insulin, and that helps regulate blood sugar. So those are all the things that are happening as they go through. Your large intestine also does some things. It absorbs water from undigested chyme. This chyme can be in the large intestine as long as 3 days. And the appendix then is a sac that is attached to the large intestine, and now we know that what it does, it used to be thought of as a useless little organ, but now we know it provides immune support to the body, helps you fight disease. The last 2 parts here are your rectum and anus, and that controls the release of solid waste or feces from the body. And that is it.